Now, I'd like to thank Napa Auto Parts for sponsoring today's video. We actually worked together. Take a look. Hi, I'm Tyler Hoover, and this is my 2003 Marauder. I love this thing. There are a few issues. My window regulator is a little messed up, and it's definitely due for an oil change. Thankfully, Napa's here to help. Hi.
Welcome to Napa. What can we do for you?
I need a driver's side front window regulator.
Alrighty.
I'm also gonna do an oil change, so I need a filter.
Looks like we have everything in stock.
Awesome, I'll get some oil. What do you drive?
I have a 16 Mustang GT. It's got a 5.0 in it.
That's a lot faster than my old thing.
Anything else I could do for you?
No, thank you very much.
All right, have a great day.
Repairing a used car, it's an adventure. You just don't know what you're going to get. You just dive right in, and it's a fun experience. I'm pumped. I'm ready to do this. Welcome to my garage. I have my parts here and my tools. Here's my new window regulator, ready to tear into this old one that's acting up. First, we gotta get this panel off somehow. 5/16. This window regulator has to do some serious yoga to get in here. I'll line this door panel back up. Hey, that worked. Now we can do the oil. Going in, check the level. Bang, right on the money. All right, so as far as oil changes go, this thing's really easy. I also got to look underneath, see that there's nothing wrong. The window regulator, a little bit more of a challenge, but still not bad. Now, this Marauder is definitely ready to kick up some dirt. I'm ready too. I do know a place that we can go do some donuts, 81 Speedway. I've never driven on a dirt track before. But anybody could go into Napa, buy their own parts, put it themselves, and it is pretty fun.
Oh, I got this now.
So yeah, my Marauder was in a commercial. We had a crazy trip together, got to take this thing on the road, and then on a dirt track. I was supposed to just do donuts there, but when I saw a whole dirt track was available, I had to give it a try. It took a lot of trial and error, a lot of spin outs for me to get that full drift into the turn. But once I got it, I got it. And I did it over and over again in this car until they told me pretty much to stop, but I could have stayed there the rest of the day. My Marauder is all fixed now. It's totally sorted out, and sadly, it's time for it to go. A friend of mine has really been wanting this car really bad, so I guess it's time to sell, and I have plenty of other cars to deal with, which is the subject of today's video. So before filming an update about all of my cars and also writing about it on autotrader.com/oversteer, which is linked below, I decided to organize my closet, and I started by counting how much clean underwear I had. Came to 26 pairs of clean underwear. My socks, I actually have a lot more, 52 pairs of socks. Now somewhere in between there, actually exactly in between there, is the number of cars that I currently own. Yep, that's right. 12 and a half personal cars, and then another 24 television show cars for my reality show that I bought, because every episode I went and bought a car. Now, I have all 24 of these reality show cars, but I'm not keeping them all. In the next few weeks, I'll get permission from the production company to start moving them along, but I am going to keep a good chunk of them. Now, I can't go into detail on what those cars are and what my plans are yet. We have to wait until those episodes air, which honestly, I don't know when they're going to air yet. I'll figure that out soon, but it'll be sometime this year. But they're hard to miss. They're surrounding me everywhere, these cars. So if you catch them in the periphery, yeah, chances are it's one of my cars. But today we're just going to focus on my 12 and a half personal cars. That's right, 12 and a half. I've whittled it down from 17, I think, down to 12 and a half. And we're going to go over them. I've got my bowl of keys, my one-man key party. Don't get any ideas. And we're going to try to start them all. I know some of them won't start. And I'm going to give you an update on whether I'm going to do something with them or not, or what's happening. So, Marauder, bye-bye. We'll go inside. It's hot in there, but at least I'm not in the sunlight. All right, let's start with Apollo 911. There we go. My 1999 Porsche 911 that I blew the motor on after 248,000 glorious miles and swapped in an LS2 V8 from a Chevy Corvette. Now this thing has always started since the swap. It's been very reliable, except recently I was in the newspaper. I was actually on the front page of the Wichita Eagle, kind of a big deal for Wichita, and this car wouldn't start when I was demonstrating my Hoopty Fleet to this news reporter. It's kind of weird. I feel like the fuel pump's getting weak on it. Maybe. They kind of mentioned that at the dyno shop when I was doing the dyno, that he was running out of fuel pressure. So that might be something that I need to upgrade, but I think it'll start today. Let's see. Well, it cracked right off this time. Yeah. Yeah, nice instant cold air too. So I know I've said that I'm going to take this thing to the drag strip and on a track day just to see how it does compared to how it was before I blew it up. And I really have not had time. I could take it to the drag strip on some weekend, easy enough, but as for the track day, I won't be able to do it until September. And up until now, I've been so busy with the reality show that I've missed every single track night, the local one up in Topeka, Kansas. And now the next one, I'm going to miss it. I'll be in San Diego for my birthday. And then the next one is on Monterey Car Week, and I'll be in Monterey, California for that as well. So September looks like the track day for this thing, and hopefully I don't blow it up again. Now, I was supposed to have a competitor for the track day, my blue Z6 over there, and it really hasn't moved either, but let's talk about it. Blue Z6 keys. Yes, there we go. So, this is my 2002 Chevy Corvette Z6, a little over 100,000 miles. I think I paid about 11 grand for it. Cheapest Z6 in the USA at the time. It's always started for me, even though I never drive it, but let's give it a try now. Feeling lucky. The batteries could be dead on these things. Oh no. Oh no. Well, the electrics light up, but it's just not quite enough. I've been traveling so much that usually I have a weekly ritual of going through all the cars, starting them up every single week just to keep, you know, the juices flowing and the batteries up, but I haven't had time. I've been traveling all over the country with this show, so I need to get back into that routine. But I feel really bad for this car because I'm supposed to be thrashing it. It's supposed to be the 911's competition, because with all the money I spent LS swapping the V8 into that 911, I could have bought this entire Corvette and, you know, saved thousands of dollars. So I was curious which one was going to be better on the drag strip and on the track, and it seems like I'm just going to wait forever to get this done. In the meantime, this beautiful car is just sitting and rotting, so I'm debating whether I should just abandon that. Obviously, I would do the track day with the 911, but if I should just skip it and sell the Z06. And I don't know, now that I say that, I really, really don't want to, even though I have no use for this car at all. But it is so cool. Now, I don't want to get rid of this one, but the one that I do want to get rid of, nobody wants it for obvious reasons. Right here, well, I don't know why I'm digging the keys out for this, because I know it won't start, but it's a 1991 BMW 850i, 12-cylinder. Very cool, very much a nightmare to own as far as the electrical systems and just about everything else. Unfortunately, it has a really bad battery drain with it and a slew of other problems. And even though I've spent probably 10 grand or more purchasing it, shipping it here in repairs, I'd be lucky to get half that back. In fact, I've been pricing it at $5,000 to people, anybody who's interested, and no takers. Totally understandable, because I tell them all the problems up front, tell them it's not worth buying, it's a total nightmare, and somehow I think that someone's still going to buy it. Obviously they won't. So I need to work on my salesmanship a little bit, or maybe I just fix it. Selling a car that doesn't run, I mean, I might as well just push it off a cliff. So yeah, I really don't know what to do with this thing. I guess it can sit. Now next to it is my parents' Trans Am. Ignore that, 78 Trans Am. But over here is a car that I am really, really ashamed. I'm so ashamed. It's my 1985 Mercedes 500 SL. I've had this car. It's my first car. My grandmother got it new. She gave it to me when I was 16, and I really should be taking better care of it. I'm sure it won't start. Yeah, there's just no battery at all. Also, it's leaking basically a puddle of oil underneath it as the upper oil pan is totally let go, which means you have to unbolt the engine, lift it up just enough to where you can replace this big pan gasket underneath of it. And it really is a shame. It's a beautiful car. Obviously, I'm not hurting it cosmetically having it sit in the storage building, but mechanically, the more it sits, the more the seals dry up and things go wrong. Tires get flat spotted. And I really shouldn't be doing that. This car deserves better. I need to commit to keeping this thing running, driving it maybe at least once or twice a month, taking it over to see my grandmother, maybe take her for a ride, because this really is a shame. I feel so bad, but I have a Ferrari, a 95 Ferrari 355 convertible, so when I'm wanting top-down fun, I'm obviously going to hop in that thing. But it's actually in here. We can talk about that. I'm the key master. You the gatekeeper? Actually, before I talk about the Ferrari, I want to talk about this car. It was my last update as far as my 1-year ownership report with this car, and I do really love it. I drive it some, not as much as I should, but enough to keep it going, that's for sure, and it starts up every time. I'm not worried about it starting right now. Not at all. Oh yeah. It's fine, it's fine. Of course it is. Old school Mercedes. These things are awesome. Now, I do get emails a lot on this car asking if I'll sell it. And I've actually priced it just out of curiosity to people at what I paid for it, the $5,100 that I paid for it a year ago. And usually they all disappear from there. So maybe I overpaid for it a little bit, but really, I don't care. I don't want to sell it, and it's just fine as is. I'm debating whether I should repaint it because it does have quite a bit of patina, but it's kind of cool as it sits. And this is my 1994 Subaru SVX, another car that is really neglected. I'm just waiting to do something with it. I only bought it for $500. It doesn't owe me any money at all for it to sit. And I'm just waiting for a cool event to happen where I can take this thing and thrash it. Something like a Lemons race, but all the Lemons races are too far away and you have to go through a lot of things to prep it. I'm looking for something simpler. And actually, the perfect event popped up near me. They're starting a rally cross just outside of Wichita. So this all-wheel drive, flat six, screaming coupe can thrash it in there. It'll be sometime this fall, September, October. In the meantime, it'll just sit. It's got a flat tire, power steering leak, needs wheel bearings, minor stuff, but we'll go through it when the time comes. No idea if it'll start. Doesn't look promising. Nope. Nope. It lights up and beeps though, so that's pretty good. So we can just move on to the belle of the ball, my 1995 Ferrari F355. And for that, I'm gonna take it on a spin. I drove it in here, I leave it in my garage at home. And that's where I have more cars actually. Whoa. Oh boy. And if the Ferrari wasn't already my happy place, it now has ice cold air conditioning. The only thing that was still broken after that initial fix when I got it, the previous owner, he was actually too scared to even have it looked at because he was worried how expensive it was going to be. And it turned out to be really, really simple. The car wizard looked it over and realized the auxiliary fan wasn't kicking on when the AC compressor kicked on. Now, if you wanted to fix it properly, there's a lot of wiring and something weird going on in the dashboard, and hunting it down and figuring it out would have been a nightmare. But if you just run a wire from the AC compressor switch to the actual auxiliary fan, every time it kicks on the fan as well, and that way the pressures don't get too high and you have ice cold air conditioning. It's easy. It was so easy he didn't even charge me to fix it. He even recharged the system for me for free, and it's been over a month and it's been flawless ever since. So a little bit of a hoopty repair, but I'll take it for ice cold air conditioning and for the price I paid. Yes, yes, yes. I've actually put almost 1,000 miles on this car since I got it, which in Ferrari owners' worlds, that's like 100,000 miles, because people don't drive these things. But I love this car. It stays in my garage at home, along with most of the other cars that I drive a lot. So many. The Homeowners Association just loves it when I do this. They love it. Love it. Now, it's kind of pointless for me to go hop in and start up this Tesla because there's no startup, there's no revving, it makes no noise, but it's worked perfectly. Like the Ferrari, surprisingly, this old Tesla with over 100,000 miles is working great. I drive it a lot, my girlfriend drives it a lot, and we really haven't had any problems except one thing. In this hot summer, this thing really uses a lot more battery, and that's because it needs to keep all of the fragile electronics cool. So it's running the climate control system to keep the cabin at a decent temperature. So sitting in a hot driveway or a parking lot like this, it can eat up 10 or 15 miles a day, just sitting and doing nothing. Now, it gets to a certain point where the battery gets low and it quits doing that to protect it, and I could also turn this feature off, but then I risk melting the electronics inside, the $3,000 touchscreen and other things. Pretty scary. Now, I bet a lot of you are wondering what happened to my cheap Land Cruiser, my 1999 Lexus LX 470, after it went on its little swimming lesson. And actually, nothing really happened. It was totally fine. I did have to replace the Nakamichi sound amp under the passenger seat because it got fried, and a thorough carpet shampoo, and it really doesn't smell in here anymore. I promise. Yeah. It's like a Japanese car. It doesn't smell like anything. Now, this is amazing. Really, this Land Cruiser is invincible, but I did have one problem. While I was at my mechanic's getting that radio amplifier changed, the starter started to go. It would click a couple of times. One observant viewer said that the starter was turning real slowly in one of my videos, and actually he was right. The starter did need to get replaced. Now, this has nothing to do with the water because it's actually on top of the engine underneath the intake, way above where the water line is, and it was going out anyway. So it's a little bit of a job to replace. It cost about 500 bucks. So had to spend some money there, but nothing water related. We also checked the diffs and the transfer case, the transmission. There's no water in there. It's fine. I'm really excited to do more adventures with this thing, except less water, that's for sure. Never taking it in deep water ever again. Nope, nope. Now, my 911 is a new edition, not the newest, but it is new. I just recently did an update video on all the things that I like and dislike about it. And I really got to say, after taking it on a long rally, about 200 miles, the air conditioning is terrible. It's exactly how it was supposed to be from the factory, and Jeremy Clarkson would make a joke on cars like these saying it's like an asthmatic trying to blow through a straw. Now, there is a solution. You can do electric air conditioning. It's available. It costs 3,000 pounds. Get it in the UK. I might convert it, whatever it is, $3,500, $4,000. I'm just not sure if I want to spend that amount of money. Because it'll cool off eventually, and then this car will be a lot of fun to drive. I really am enjoying it otherwise. It is beautiful to look at as well. Beautiful. Now, the one next to it may not be as beautiful, but it's beautiful to me. My 1996 Buick Park Avenue Ultra. And I really do get an email once a week, at least from somebody, asking if I'll sell it. And the answer is no. I know these are impossible to find, the rare supercharged version, the last year of this body style, but it's not worth that much. I'd price it to whatever, $2,000 or $3,000 that it's worth, and then I could never find another one. I'm keeping it. I love it. I have everything sorted now. The air ride is back working again. The climate control doesn't make weird farting noises with the blend doors. It all works just like it's supposed to. And so it's a great car. I also love how stealthy it is, how I can just take it to the store, park it in a parking lot, and not have to worry about it getting another ding, or just keeping it dirty, let it sit outside. So I tend to drive it a lot. I actually jump between this and my C36 out in the driveway quite a bit. I love it. It really is one of my favorite cars, and it's about the cheapest one in the fleet. Now, I have even more cars than this. We only got about halfway through all of them. The rest are up at my mechanic's, the Car Wizard's, and he has some crazy new digs. The guy's gone Hollywood. He's the only one making money in this. Now let's go. We'll hop back in the Ferrari. Wizard!
You've made your grand entrance.
You're so far away. I can't believe this is your new place.
It's like those movies, you keep running towards someone.
Right. Compared to your 100-year-old blacksmith shop, this is like Walmart. You bought a Walmart to work on cars.
I bought an old Walmart.
Yeah. So what is this place actually?
It used to be a manufacturing shop. They built seats for school buses and Greyhound buses back in the 60s.
Seats for buses, and now it's the new Wizard's lair.
Yep.
I'm glad to see that someone's spending my money wisely, because clearly I'm not. And it actually came at a good time because I needed storage. We do 24 cars, 24 episodes, and there's some in my storage building as you saw, but there are also a bunch up here. Some of them are actually my cars. I can't tell you specifically which ones, but Wizard knows.
They're getting worked on, but exactly how or why, or that is yet to be found out.
Very cool, but there are a few cars from my YouTube channel that are up here that I do need to update you on, and they're actually outside. Yeah, this is crazy, Wizard.
I need to get walkie-talkies or something.
Yeah, you do need we need a PA system.
Wizard to the office, Wizard to the office.
Right. It's good the spoiler's still attached. Now, I know that I have totally jumped the shark with my 2005 Toyota Prius that I bought for only $1,500 and was able to bring back to life since it had a dead hybrid battery, but just replacing it with used cells that had been balanced out took care of it. But then I went a little overboard, jumping the shark part. The custom interior, the paint job, the graphics to make it look like a Fast and Furious Toyota Supra. Really stupid, but I'm going to see this through to the end, and I have bought a nitrous kit. They do sell nitrous kits for Priuses, and I found one. I bought it. We're going to install it pretty soon, and then I'm going to put it in a drag race with my Tesla Model S. It's the drag race that nobody asked for, but I am going to deliver it. There's also my BMW M3 back there that I'm trying to sell, but nobody wants to buy it, it seems. So that's the update to my hoopty fleet. A lot of cars. Now, obviously, this is more than enough than any one person. To have more cars than you do fresh underpants is definitely crazy, so I'm going to do my best to not buy any more, but I say that and wait 5 minutes, just like the car I bought earlier this week. Yeah, this is definitely a problem. But thank you for watching. It's a Prius. I sometimes forget that I have a Prius. Oh, I bought that too. Oh yes, it's purple. And the red one